Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm not really sure what I will do with this channel, where I'm gonna take it. So my name is Rocketry. Yeah, that's a silly wordplay, as you maybe can already guess. Yeah, basically I'm trying a bunch of stuff. Whatever comes my way, I like to create stuff. I like to repair electronic and non-electronic, so more like mechanical stuff. And yeah, let's just see where this leads. Today we have this cute little guy here, which is an older Furby. Oh, yeah, it's not apparently not the newest one they're selling right now. It's also not the original, which I also had as a kid and which is stuck somewhere with my nephew. I don't know exactly where mine is, but yeah, I bought a bunch of these actually, as broken a few years back, and I didn't get around to repairing them. Actually, I wanted to circuit bend them, a bit like Look Mom, No Computer. Maybe doing something even with the LCD displays, which are in the eyes of these newer ones, which is really cool, I think. But for now, I just want to repair it. I think I know what is broken, and I hope it's only that, otherwise it will be quite complicated to get it fixed. I guess, is these motors. So these are, let me think, DC motors, of course. Where should the AC come from in that thing? And what happens is, for the Furby to move, they are driven backwards and forwards by reversing polarity, and this burns them out apparently quite fast. So I'm now trying to take that poor guy apart. Let's see how that goes. I'm not completely sure how to do that. Let's see. Oh no, at first, let's just open the battery enclosure here. It's secured with screws. I think otherwise it wouldn't count as a toy. Children shouldn't be able to open that. Which is correct. They shouldn't. Can be quite dangerous. Not with AA cells necessarily, but other battery types. And who knows, maybe they would also chew on those here. I don't know. They do the weirdest stuff. Sorry for the cracking noise here. I'm just pulling out some of these Amazon brand double A's, and let's see how alive our little friend is. Not much, I'm quite sure of that, because I think I've tested them all, and yeah, what should I say? The eBay description was accurate. They were not moving correctly. Ah, I hear that. So you hear that? So yeah, he's doing, or it is doing something. Moving the eyelids a little bit, but it's just doing this, which maybe comes from the fact that it's trying to drive the broken motor. Let's see. Yeah. I'll put you back to sleep, my little friend. Yes, of course. Ah, come on. Here. Yeah, to be honest, when... Oh, it even stays on when the... What does it say here? Actualization? I don't know what that should mean. Yeah, so actually I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do when I have it repaired, but let's see. So the old ones, so for taking it apart, I should do some kind of segue here, I guess, into the building part. So for taking it apart, with the old ones, there was like a zip tie around the base. I don't see anything like that, but we actually have screws. Well, not bad. I mean, I need another bit. That's one thing. Where is my screwdriver set? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that seems to be a rare case where a newer version is actually more serviceable, more repairable than an older version. I mean, with the zip tie, of course, you could put a new one there, but you needed an extremely long one because it went one time around the whole base of the little thing. Yeah, that's not exactly the right bit to do that. Maybe I pick another one not to break the screws here. Much better. Actually, how to pick the right bit, right? I always don't know. I'm just going by trial and error and a bit by eye. But most of the time it's just trial and error, as I said. So yeah, so you needed quite a long zip tie to repair the old ones, and also I think around the eyes it was not easy to get the fur unfurled, you know, to get it off the little guy. So let's see how it goes here. So I can imagine that this plastic bracket I'm unscrewing right now is holding down the fur in place, and then we hopefully can just wrap it or roll it upwards somehow. But yeah, I don't know. I think when I bought them I watched like a teardown video, someone did, but that was a long time ago, and I just decided today on a whim to start with that. And look at that, there's even a rubber band going around it. That is actually quite nice. That is already the beak. I see something. Look here. There. There's a cable. Should take... I mean, it has a sensor in its belly, I would guess. Does this cable go there? I mean, it has to detect petting and rubbing its tummy. Oh, iron skull. What's that? Ha. Funny, I mean. It's basically like a small animatronic, right? Let's see. There's a screw holding down this white bracket. Just, look at that. Better. Much better. Where's this motor? I looked it up back in the day. I bought the motors. I mean, the cable is quite long. Let's just remove that screw. It's another one then on the outside. Bit is fitting though. Fits? Bit fits? I don't know. My grammar is out of the window today. Look at that plastic. That looks like it has stress points. Like it's just folded in there, but maybe that's the standard manufacturing, how they just do these things. I don't know what is to expect. I mean, where should the motor be? I don't know. I don't know. Here's some... Let me get... small scissors would be good, but I have a flush cutter here. That has to do. There's a bit of string, yarn, so to say, so it's sewn down to the ears. I'm a bit afraid if I cut this, it will flap away later. But if I do not cut this, it will be hard to open it. What is that? Ah, see? There seems to be like, I don't know, a bend sensor, a pressure sensor, and it goes inside the belly here. Ah, but look at that. This is down here. Yeah, I think you can see that now, right? That's a connector. That's actually nice. Look at that. That's almost like they do not want you to throw it away when it breaks. Amazing. I had that like 0 times before, that you could just unplug things. I'm also quite happy that I'm recording this, because who knows, maybe I will pause for a week before finishing this repair, and then I don't know where to put things back. How have they sewn that down, actually? Can I just remove that whole thing here? Ouch. If I pull that out of here, maybe that's like, let's see, so I can leave the sewing on there. But I mean, maybe if I have repaired it, maybe I just leave it as a zombie Furby. I don't know, I don't think I will give this to kids afterwards. Just... Okay, so I can pull these flaps out of here. Why is this harder than on the left side? It does not, ouch! Oh, I'm hurting myself here, peeling away my skin. Doesn't want to budge same way it did on the other side. That's somewhere. Come on. Just, I mean, it's also firm. I don't think anyone will notice that I'm snipping that when I'm putting it back together. And anyways, I don't want to sell it afterwards. It's just for my personal amusement, and now also for yours, I guess. Screws aside here. Ah, yes, I see what it is doing here. So this is also just like a clip design. which goes in here somewhere. Come on. I mean, yeah, maybe I don't want to put it back together the way it was, but I also don't want to break it unnecessarily, and it's just... On some points it's just so easy to disassemble, and on others it's terrible. Just not giving way here. Maybe if I would do it a bit more intelligent and not in my stubborn rage here. But yeah, I mean, now it came out. Look at that. There is a standard pin header. That's strange. What, did I rip something out there? No. Maybe that's already testing points and even convenient pin headers. So this doesn't seem as low budget as I would have expected. I would have expected that they cut every corner they could to produce it cheaper, but apparently they didn't. Cool, I guess. But you know what? I won't get these ears away here. Yeah, let's see. So I'm recording everything here. Maybe I will fast forward at some point and or will do a cut, so not to bore you, because it's not that easy to open apparently. So, or more like it is both. On some points it's extremely easy, on other points it's just a pain. I mean, it's completely sewn to that. And if yeah, it's sewn to that, but how in the world I should get it over the ears? Or are the ears separate parts? And maybe they are, but they are glued. That's the thing. They are glued. So if I want to get them away from here, I have to cut open the threads, cut the strings of this electronic puppet. I don't know. It sounded like a quote was coming there, but I just noticed that it's a bit too long a time since I watched Pinocchio. Or have I watched it ever? Is it just some pop cultural misconception in my head? Some Mandela effect going on with me? I don't know. So, but I guess I can put this back in here. Yeah, doesn't really matter, does it? Or maybe it does. I don't know. If I take away the back of its skull, basically, when I have removed its fur, maybe I need to detach also these pink brackets here. I don't know. So actually I'm quite happy that these are broken. Because otherwise, yeah, I would break them while taking them apart, because I can't help myself. I have to take apart everything I get at some point. It's just the thing with me drove my parents insane. Everything I got had to be taken apart into its smallest pieces. Yeah, that's, I guess, how I ended up here. So I now know my way around fixing things, but not because I had so many broken things, but because I broke so many things, you know? And now let's also loosen it here. Yeah, it seems they have sewn the fur to those pink ear brackets and then clicked them in here. And then glued on the top pieces of the ears. So this is rubber, obviously, but this here is hard plastic, just, yeah, I don't know, ABS or something. No soft plastic. And yeah, and then they could just do it. But as I cannot easily remove the rubber ears again without breaking it totally and then looking totally ridiculous. Look at that. Cut myself with my fingernail when I slipped earlier. Yeah, dangerous hobby. Yeah, let's see. So I want to take off this shell now. And there's some scotch tape stuff. Do you call that scotch tape? We here call it taser after the manufacturer. And I'm not sure, maybe scotch tape is that matte, only that matte stuff that yeah, that matte stuff. Not the completely transparent one, but the translucent one, you know. But I don't know exactly. So what I think these silver stripes here are the touch sensors, which is actually really interesting. So I remember with the old Furbies, so generation 1, I think what I have here is generation 3 or 4, even, it's not generation 2. With those, the sensors were like actual switches. Yeah, so if you wanted to pet your Furby, you really had to click down a tactile switch, which was hidden under its fur. But with those here, seems to be some inductive thing. Sorry, I have to concentrate a bit here to get it off. So a bit of ASMR content for you, I guess, because I'm getting quieter. No. So this seems to be, yeah, some kind of inductive circuit that is sensing these metal strips, one on the head up here, and then the big one on the back I'm just peeling off here. Maybe, yeah, if I reassemble it, I need some double-sided tape maybe, because it's not so easy also to separate it from the fluffy fur. But I can't just poke through it, obviously, then I'm damaging the inductive sensor. So what is that called? A Darlington switch? Something like that. Look at that. This screw is like... What is that? See that? It's red. Like a red resin over there. It's like glued down, but it's quite soft. I think I can loosen it, but maybe I do that last because it's not attached to the back skull here. Let's see, so these are the screws from the outside, these are the ones from the inside. They're all identical. Why do my hands look that red on camera? I don't know. I haven't gotten that white balance stuff down yet. I haven't done any white balancing actually. It's just I hit record on my old phone, to be honest. But I figured I'd start somewhere, right? So you know what this whole thing reminds me of? It's like in Star Trek The Next Generation, every time they had to repair Data or one of his clones, they were flapping up Brent Spiner's to pay, so to say. So they attached a similar piece of hair to the back of his head, or maybe it was just a mannequin head for that matter. I don't know. If they show only the backside of the actor, who knows whether it was Brent Spiner at all. Maybe he wasn't in the studio on those days. And they just flapped it up and it looks, yeah, obviously his hair wasn't pink, but otherwise it looks quite similar, because sometimes, I think I can remember, sometimes the hair looked quite artificial. So, I mean, especially now in the HD variant of the series. See, I shouldn't have clicked that stuff in here again. And it just reminds me of that, because, yeah, you're flipping back the hair of your android. Just that, of course, Data was a bit more... I'm gonna cut that too. It's sorry, Furby, but I've done it on the other side. That's... Can't stand on one leg, right? Let's do it here too. So, let's see what Data has got for us. Has gotten for us? I don't know. My English is out the window today, sorry. See what he has? Or what it has? Whatever. There. It's a small DC motor. The silver thing here. So yeah, I would say let's go ahead. Ahead. Yeah, it's more like his whole back, which is open here. But let's just take that pun as it comes. And solder in a new DC motor here. Let's see, so I'm preheating my soldering iron. Just learned that it is iron and not iron. So, guys, you maybe already heard, I'm not sure about that, to be honest, but maybe you heard it. English is not my first language, it's not my native tongue, so to say. But yeah, I always said iron sword in Elder Scrolls or whatever, or in classic roleplay pen and paper roleplay. And now at some point on TikTok I heard, okay, listen to me, it's not iron, it's iron man, iron sword, iron whatever. And I was like, okay, that's really interesting and a bit embarrassing, because I said it all those years like iron. And I don't know, maybe there are English speaking regions that say it differently. But what I find really interesting about that is the linguistic fact that in older German texts like fairy tales, you say for things that are made out of iron, my God, out of iron, you say they are Ehern, and this has a remarkable resemblance to iron. So, however it is written in English today, and those are all the same screws, by the way. That's definitely a great design because I just cannot mix them up. There was only one other screw from the face bracket in the front, which I wouldn't even have needed to take out here, I guess. So yeah. So from a linguistic perspective, I think this is really interesting. So English language writing it as iron, whatever, but still having the pronunciation of iron. So let's take a look here. So these are the new motors. And this is the old one. Looking similar, despite of the fact that there is a PCB on the old one, which I don't know. Yeah, obviously I have to desolder it, but I can't say but I can't say how. There's also this worm gear up here. Let's see, so it seems, is this the same, the same pitch, the same distance? Yeah, it is. I think it is pretty much the same motor. I mean, I took good care to get the same one, and I think I had some forums telling me, it's this or that motor you should buy. And then I went ahead and bought them at, I don't know, AliExpress or something. So let's, look at that. It happened again. There's a connector, what these are called, TXT, THT connectors or something. Let's put away the soldering iron for now. Wow, okay, so we can put this away for now. Just taking a picture of that. I mean, I can also look at the footage here, but then I have to stop the recording and look for it. But I want to take a picture of that. Let's see. Yeah, that's reasonably sharp, and I can see where those wires went. So, what is on that PCB? Not much. Not much. Ah, that's greasy. Can I pull off that worm gear? Maybe that's question one. No, not really. But I need to. Yeah, so I need to transplant that worm gear somehow. But yeah, what is on that PCB? There are 3 capacitors and an empty solder pad for diode. At least that's the symbol that's shown there. I don't know. But yeah, I guess it should be easy enough. To desolder that and put it on the new motor. 6 volts. Should 6 volt? I don't know. You shouldn't. I think as it is a unit, you shouldn't say volts, right? 6 volt. And this has no markings whatsoever, so I maybe need to look that up also. I mean, it's virtually identical. Yeah, let's see. So let's make my iron a bit hotter, because this should be lead-free solder. Yeah, you know, all of that rose stuff. Forgive my soldering. I'm in the process of getting better, but I haven't done a lot the last years. So, okay, this point up here could prove hard, because the whole the whole outer shell of the motor is soldered to that point. Yeah, obviously that's ground. It goes into the holes on the connectors actually. So that's just okay. It's also okay. So the red cable is positive, the black is negative, as you would. The brown is negative, but yeah, it's pretty much as you would expect. So I don't really. So I need this PCB to come off of here. How to do that? I will try it with solder wick, but I'm not that good in working with solder wick. I have to warn you. So sorry for the crinkling, crackling again. So just got this professional solder flux thingamajig just yesterday in the mail. Beforehand I was working with solder fat out of a tin, and it was honestly it was a nightmare. It was going on my nerves so badly. I wanted to have a better solution for that, so I guess that's it. Now I have this great solder stuff. I guess I should have solder wick which is bigger, because I'm using vast amounts here to get this off. You know, I should pull out my solder suckers. I'm turning off my soldering iron for now. And I don't have, at least yet, because I'm not doing that professionally to any extent, I don't yet have one of these great solder suckers. One of those cows, you know, moo. They do every time. They make every time you suck away solder with them. But I have that thing, which is solder sucking pump, a manual one, fused with an unregulated soldering iron. Maybe that's terrible for small electronics like that. Let's find out. I mean, I have a few Furbies still to experiment on. Evil experiments. But yeah, maybe it just works. Maybe it's nice. Just once. Is it getting hot? Yeah, it's getting hot. That's a, by the way, that's an excellent way to test it. Just touch it. I don't know. Don't do that at home. Already 40 minutes. I'm recording for 40 minutes, so I think I will cut that down for you. Or maybe not. Let's see. I mean, I'm pretending like somebody will watch this. Maybe no one will. But let's find out. Maybe write in the comments if you have watched it. It's not like I can see that by the click numbers, the views. Maybe someone believes me and gives me a bit more engagement on that. Somehow I flux smeared somewhere. Oh, sorry. I went totally out of frame there. So is it hot enough yet? Yes, I think it is now. At least the flux is fluxing. The solder is now also soldering. Oh god. Yeah, I remember why I hated that thing. It's puffing like Magic Dragon, but not really anything coming out there. Oh god. Yeah, a bit. I'm taking a bit away there. So yeah, a bit of a jump cut here. So I'm making progress. But the solder sucker is really not the best tool. So, or I'm doing it wrong. Maybe. I don't know. Should you put flux on there when you're sucking solder? Maybe I could. I mean, it can't hurt to try. Guess. I can't. My problem is now, sorry also for losing the camera angle totally. I can't really put away the solder sucker right now because I don't have a holder for that. Ah, God, I forgot to push it down. Ah, and I'm releasing it too early sometimes even. That's an annoying thing to do. I don't like that. Maybe at some point I will do a jump cut here and just show you the finished desoldered thing. Ha! Housing is getting hot. Yeah, I don't know. Let's just maybe try to let's unplug. This was my iron. It wasn't a solder sucker. Let's unplug the solder sucker. Put it into the holder of the soldering station. And let's see. Let's reheat. And see, this is basically what I've taken away with the solder sucker. It's not bad. So I want to try to give it a bit pressure from underneath. Let's go to 350. It comes away. I don't have any clips or so to hold that in place. Let's put some more flux there. Something I've learned. But actually I've ordered new solder tips a few days back. They haven't arrived yet. Because I thought my old ones were somehow sticky. I don't know. So I got one with the soldering iron and it was great. It was always doing the job for the stuff I did. But at some point it just it was burned out, of course. Yeah, so it suffered the fate of being used too much. And then I ordered new ones, but not from the place where I ordered the solder station, but just from Amazon, because I figured those should fit. I measured the old solder tip. I want to move this out of the way, not to melt it. Gosh. Okay, this seems to be free. Let's hold it a bit off to distance so it doesn't snap back. So yeah, but those new solder tips seem to stick to the solder a bit too much, and I was always getting small spikes. And I wanted to... Ha! There it is. Wow. I was always getting small spikes when I pulled away the soldering iron. And I figured that might be because the solder tips are not good. But now, we have the PCB here, it turns out I wasn't either not applying the correct flux or not enough flux. I don't know. With the new flux I've ordered, that's what I want to say, it works much better. So let's take a look at that. Did I damage it too much? No, I think that looks good. That looks good. Yeah. And look at that. I can just put it here on the new motor. It's compatible. Looks also really looks exactly the same. So this is the old one. You can see that because of the worm gear. And if I now just apply flux and solder it here, it should be fine. And we can put it back together and try once more. So let's do it in the same way. Come on, focus. Saying that to the camera and to myself, of course. Just, it's not completely flush. Was it completely flush with the old motor? I don't know. No, it's as flush as it can be. It's as flush as it can be. Let's put it into the frame for you again. Is that in focus? A bit lighter at least. That's nice. That's really nice. So heating it, solder, and yeah, looking quite good, but it was pulling again that little spike. I don't know, maybe I have those new solder tips arriving soon. I want to do it exactly like the old one. Let's put some more flux there. It's also not as close. I mean, it shouldn't make a big difference, should it? Do I really need that there then? Gosh heavens, let's just... Ouch! It's hot. Heat is going everywhere. Yeah, it should have contact, but it's not looking good. I don't like that at all. Let's just put another blob of solder there, just... Sorry for taking it out of frame so much, but it's not working as I want it to. It's really hard to keep it there because I also can't see it that well. Yeah, now it's good enough. It's good enough. Just leaving it at that. I mean, maybe this whole thing doesn't work at all and I don't want to overdo it. Let's zoom out for you here again. Yeah, good. Whew, it's still hot. The whole thing there heats up. The whole housing of the motor heats up. Still, that solder sucker is still hot and I don't know where to put it. Need some secondary holder for that. So, with my solder sucker now in the bathtub, so it doesn't burn anything. I'm actually a bit afraid of that always. And the chaos slowly consuming my workbench, my desk here. Let's look into that worm gear. So we have to transplant it somehow and ouch! Yeah, maybe just by brute force, but I seriously doubt that this is gonna work. It's so hard to get away here. No, it's working. Just not completely by hand. It's also greasy. I don't have... look at that. How identical are these motors? So I must have really found a good forum entry back then. Oh, that was too far, wasn't it? Guess. Still too far. Too far in. Yeah, was it like that? Let's see, maybe it doesn't make that big of a difference. So if I remember correctly, a worm gear is like a gear with only one tooth. And it has to grip to this gear up here somewhere. And it doesn't necessarily matter that it's completely in the middle. I think this looks reasonably fine. I mean, it's okay. The motor just lies in here. There's nothing more to put it. Yes, so I have to switch off the soldering iron. Okay, Somehow I always have, I'm always a bit in fear that the solder tip burns out. I don't know whether this is reasonable or not. See, I made a mistake. There were those small holes and I was so excited that I got off the PCB from the old motor and I wanted to solder it back on so fast that I forgot that I should have put the cables into the small holes, but I just will solder them next to it. Maybe that's not NASA standard engineering, but yeah. I heard once that they are actually not... Do they solder in addition? I don't know, but I think there is some research paper by NASA, JPL, whatever. It suggests that the most secure way of connecting two conductors is by stranding them together. Yeah, so you have the biggest area there. So as I have to handle three things here, I will just put a bit of solder on beforehand. I don't know. I haven't researched it myself. It was just one of these comment section discussions. So please don't come at me. If it is not correct and NASA or JPL has never written about anything like that, I mean, do I get it through the hole? No, I don't want to burn all the capacitors here and other components. There are no other components. I think in these how do you call that, shrink tubes here, there are resistors, I would say, which I guess makes sense if you want to limit what is it, current, the amperes, if you want to limit the amps that are going into it. Just missing the correct word in English right now. Yeah, it has to be current, right? Voltage is for volts, for volt, obviously. And yeah, so I don't know what is that. That's maybe the motor driver. Actually, the IC reminds me of those small audio amplifiers, but it's just the package. It reminds me of it. No useful stuff there. Let's look it up. I mean, it says, you can't see it on camera, I guess, but it's 74HC 14M. 74HC 14. It reminds me of something. I know that. 18M, I said. It is 6. You see that? 6-channel 2 volt to 6 volt inverter with Schmidt trigger input. Schmidt trigger input. I know that from somewhere. I know that, but my electronic basic knowledge is failing right now. Sorry for that. But you can look it up yourself, I guess, if you're interested. Maybe I will do it later too, because yeah, it is interesting. Schmidt trigger. Is this the board that handles these sensors? Would be a strange place, right, to put it. It's so many other stuff here. But yeah, maybe. So let's see. Oh, those screws are all over the place. I need one of these electrostatic mats maybe to, just because they have those small nice spaces to put things. So my little friend, it was only that one screw, so I'm not making a mistake. I was not sure. I thought maybe the screws, both screws were going through the PCB, but it's only that one up here that is holding the PCB, and two small pilot pins down here. Yes. Yes. My little Android friend. You have to take care with those plastic self-cutting screws. Just rotating them a bit counterclockwise until they click into their old screw profile they've cut the first time around at factory, and then screw them in. So you're not cutting a new thread, which eventually will break the whole screw stem, yeah, where it screws into. So if you haven't known, you know now. No, my PC just got out of standby over there. So if you can hear some fan noises now, that's that. Sticking here. Let's just take care. So these cables for the sensors, they come out here. Will you look at that? So it's not so easy to get it in here again. It's a bit expected, a bit unexpected. I don't know. It's like, you know, there are points in this device, if you want to call it that, which are really easy to take apart and put together again, like all the connectors they have there. There are other points where it's so flimsy and strange. So I mean, I get it. Somehow this thing does not really have a housing, right? It's more like a holder shell or a protective shell, a thin protective shell to keep children from poking directly into the electronics through the fur. But yeah. God. Yeah. I don't know. It's not. There's so many small things. Yeah, maybe I'll fast forward. I will pause the recording until I have it finished. Also have nothing interesting to say right now. I'll be back soon. So yeah, I have that back part back on the Furby. So yeah, I mean, it's a bit, it was a terrible hassle. So good that I stopped the recording at that point. Be quite a lot of swearing on my behalf. There. I didn't find the thread on that one. But actually, so this reminded me, this is one of the reasons why When I was younger, I did not finish. That's not a screw hole. Is that a screw hole? No, I think it goes right through. I'm not sure. Maybe if I have a screw missing in the end. So yeah, but this kind of stuff was always the reason why I have not finished a lot of my repair projects in the past when I was younger, because I was many devices, many things are like, okay, yeah, take me apart, everything's fine. And when you try to put them back together, they are the worst. Just like, yeah, you're never getting back together. How dare you to even try? Model. Yeah, so this is like that, you know. So I have now a lot of fuzzy pink fur over this back sensor. I have to see that, have to watch that I'm not clamping it into the slot here. But let's put that screw there. But in general, I love the design of these. It's just so hard to get that back panel back on. Look here, now it's still, this has to be outside. It's slipped under there again. So it's also up here. So yeah, I don't know. So I guess as there was just tape over there, it doesn't hurt. But look at that. So the tape here goes over the speaker. I haven't thought about that before, but isn't that strange? Muffles the speaker, but yeah, maybe not more than the fur does. That is everywhere, I just noticed also. But yeah, so this does not stick anymore. It had so much contact with the fur, but as there is already tape over it, I guess I can just tape over it again. But for now, I just want to, it's like a face transplant basically, right? I will put that back more or less. I want to see whether everything can move. Those things here I've loosened. I have to mend that with hot glue if I'm dressing, if I really want to dress the Furby again in the end. Maybe I leave it naked and just try to get access to its CPU or whatever. I mean, there's also this debugging port on the side. What is... Should it do that noise? I don't know. Let's put in the batteries and see what it says. If it says anything, maybe I've killed it for that matter. I'm not sure. Oh, I forgot to connect the tummy sensor. So no tummy strokes for you, my little friend. Later, I have to do that later. Wow. That looks a lot better. Wow. Hi.
Oh, Nunu, come here.
Huh. Well, great.
Grandma?
Yeah, I think that was a success. What's it doing? Can I? I'm trying to scare it. I did that back in the day always.
Grandma?
Ah, it's not. It doesn't look happy, at least.
Rainbow? Just a black day. Black and black.
Yeah, I mean,
Beautiful.
he can... Shut up for a moment, please.
Beautiful.
You could think... Oh, sorry, it's I have to kill it for now. It's interrupting me all the time. So you could think it's reacting really to stimuli. I think it kind of does, right? So the thing with those always was they tried, at least in the 90s or around the year 2000, they tried to make you think that these are the most intelligent things on the planet, basically, next to you. I love this little connector. It's so cute. But it's also so, I don't know, they just stuffed it here. If a child picks a bit too wild on the fur, could theoretically unplug it. And then you cannot pet your little Furby anymore. Yeah, that would be unfortunate, wouldn't it? Yeah, so they try to convince you that these were the most intelligent artificial beings on the planet. And it was, of course, quite a trend back then. You also had Tamagotchis, of course. You also had, and I had this on my TikTok channel, I've shown this on one of my old PCs I have here. You had Fin. I don't know if somebody remembers. So I think there was one person in the comments who said, "Oh yeah, I knew that," and it was this creepy creature also. And but basically, yeah, Fin was like a dolphin mix thing. I'm just looking for some adhesive tape to put over there. But yeah, I think I have to get some. Yeah, so Fin was like a dolphin thing, and you had it on your computer and was living on a different planet. You had contact to it, and yeah, it was also, I don't know, I guess it was evolving a bit. But what Furby did was to fool you into evolving, or it evolving, or learning, let's call it that, was, I think it had a set vocabulary, and the longer it was online, the longer it was on one battery charge, the more of that vocabulary was unlocked. At least that's what I was told. I know the store who was selling these in my village. They had one on the shelf and it had a lot of vocabulary, so it was saying much more things than mine did. At least that's what I thought as a child. Maybe someone corrects me on that and says, "Oh no, they had all their vocabulary from the first, from the get-go, from first switching on." But yeah, that in the store, how I explain it to myself is, it had just a really long on time because it was basically awake the whole day to advertise the product, of course. And yeah, so, and therefore it had all the vocabulary unlocked, or a lot of it at least. Would be interesting, and I don't know whether that is the case. Maybe out there somewhere is a dump of the firmware and someone can look into the code, do some bite sniffing or whatever to determine how many words the original Furby could speak and what were the conditions under which it said those. Was there a timer of total on time? All of that would be really interesting. Yeah, maybe I can explore one of these here at least, because I do not have my original one still, as I said. Maybe I can ask for it in the family, let's see. But let's see. So I'm gonna grab some scotch tape and put this back together. See you in a minute. So found some. So adhesive tape. I don't know. Maybe scotch tape. Maybe not. Actually, we had downstairs. We had some of the. Ow! Can't use scissors. It seems. Not one of my strengths. Yeah, downstairs actually, first what I found was some, yeah, scotch tape, what I would call scotch tape, spontaneously. The matte frosted appearance there. I think that's not correct. I think, let me see. I think it was more like that, right? So it ended here on the speaker. Because otherwise it would just flap in the breeze like Ben Hackedorn says. But it wasn't flapping in the breeze, so I'm taping it down here again. So also the head petting sensor. Things I never thought I would say. But there I am. So, right. So this is just taping that down again. I think it does not. It was done so sloppily from factory. I wouldn't say someone was in here before. I mean, all of the thread was still there. Maybe someone was in here who was really knowing what they were doing, because I clearly do not. I just do whatever comes to mind to fix things or to take them apart and getting an existential crisis and letting them sit there. Oh god, so maybe a bit down here now. Come. You wanted to. So I think I've just seen that when I had the camera switched off. If you pull here, it does a click. So I would say this is a reset switch when it crashed. So I know that the old Furby, version 1 Furby, sorry to come back to that so many times, but I just know more about the version 1 Furby than about that one here. The version 1 Furby was extremely prone to crashing, and it was terrifying to me as a little kid when it did, because it was what it was. Sorry, I'm getting a bit tired, and then always my ability to speak English or to speak any language for that matter breaks down a bit. So the version 1 Furby, what I wanted to say, when it crashed, it just hang on one sound sample, I would say. So today, with my understanding, and it was just talking and saying, me, Domo, and then all of a sudden it was just like me, and just getting stuck on that one sound, and I was so scared when it first happened. So many people say they were convinced at a quite early stage that Furbies were possessed by demons or something. So there, I brought it up. If you wanted to write in the comments, I took that away from you. If anybody is still watching, that is. As I'm rambling for so long now. See, I made a mistake. I want to leave that reset button off. So, as a child, I wasn't concerned that it was possessed by demons, but I was actually concerned that it might die, that I heard it, because yeah, maybe I wasn't the nicest kid in that regard, because it always got anxious when you hold it upside down. It was screaming. Let's put it that way. And that was quite funny to me as a child. So I hold it upside down for quite some time and just let it scream. See, I think this is not correct. So for some reason this is not right, but I didn't do that for once. This has to go in here somehow, I would say, and come up here. It's so fiddly. So I guess it was not correct from factory because there should be this pulley thing. I guess. I mean, that there's also that green switch which says actualization. I don't know. It looks French to me. I need my tweezers, but I don't have them. Of course. That would be too easy. Maybe with that. If I poke it, I can pull it. I mean, I can also cut it quite easily. Maybe I should take that in mind, but there it comes. Nice. Yeah, maybe I pulled it through by accident, I just think, and didn't notice until now. See? This looks good. Yeah, if I pull hard enough, it works like that. So I will leave it at that. I'm not sure whether it's completely correct, but I also don't want to take it apart that far. So at least not at that point. I think now I have this one working. Maybe I give one to the kids to play and then move on to the others to torture them and circuit bend them. Maybe I replace their inners completely if I understand how to drive the LCDs. You could do all sorts of stuff. What I'm quite amazed about is how much this Furby does with this one motor. So looking back at the first Furby again, and I think it's some kind of technological lineage. They are related, at least, I would say. And the first Furby really only had that one motor. It was quite a similar one, maybe even the same one. I'm not sure. And it drove everything from it. The eyelids, the ears, the mouth, and the rest of the body movement. At least that was what I was told. So I never did a teardown of the original Furby. I also don't know how rare these are these days. I guess it also depends on the color. So I had the one, I had the gray one with the light pinkish hair and back stripe. They had a bit of a different fur pattern. They had a fluffy hair up the head. And the black dots, black spots. This was mine. His name was Domo. He said so himself. Itself, whatever. Maybe it was a girl. And yeah, what did I want to say? Yeah, I've never torn it down because when I always was interested in electronics, but somehow Furby was, I did not want to hurt it physically back then. That was one thing, so I did not take it apart. Might be the only thing I did not take apart, but I also already bought it for from my own money. So I knew it was really expensive. Maybe this kept me from taking it apart and potentially breaking it, which I would have done. Let's be honest, it's not extremely complicated, a Furby, but I would have broken it just because I didn't wouldn't really have understood how it works. And yeah, if I switch it on now again, it will be so loud and annoying again. That's, haven't thought about that before I fixed it. Yeah, so, and I've never taken mine apart, simply for that reason. I did not want to break it, I did not want to hurt it, maybe also, maybe, I don't know. And when I became interested enough, I've already given it away. As I said, only inside family, but yeah. So let's see, what do those... I think it's calibrating itself, doing not a whole lot now, waking up. What? What's up? I don't know. Okay, so this is a reset switch. Yeah, and this? Doesn't trigger anymore when I pull the string. It's not correct like that. It's stuck. What's it doing? I think this pull string is stuck, and now it's just in a loop going into sleep somehow. Let's take those screws out again. I'm still a bit sick. Everyone is these days. And I don't mean that in a societal sense. Could also say that, but no, it's just that time of year. Everyone is sick. At some point you have to go back to work because you can't be sick for weeks. Yeah, I think maybe I get it out back here. Do I really have to loosen the whole bracket again? I don't want to. Maybe I do have to. Did I break it? Did I now really break it in the last possible moment? Okay, come. No, the clickety still clickets. So I think I will leave it like that. comes out here, and I just put on the bracket now again. Somehow, I forgot how. Where's the notch? Has to be that notch up here. Has to be somewhere, right? It's nowhere. How? That way. So let's just put it like that. And ouch! There are spikes to hold the fabric, and I hurt myself on them because I'm stupid, I guess. Oh, I just leave it like that. So, you know what? I could take out, before I completely screw back together this one, I can take out one of the other ones. There's this lovely blue one. I remember I wanted another color back then, but yeah, as the things were in the, I would guess, late 90s. Was it early 2000? No, I think it was late 90s. Yeah. I don't know how old I was exactly. Look at, is it anywhere? No, that's just light blue fur. Look at that, it's tucked away, so that's actually some switch you wouldn't reach normally. So yeah, I guess I just leave it hanging out here, and we have a debug Furby. I don't know. Funny thing is, also the debug port I saw is up here, so you can really just connect it like some, I don't know, what does this remind me of? Some connection interface on the temple. What does that remind me of? There was some sci-fi show where you, I guess with me it was Star Trek in some season, in some series. Because for me it's most of my important childhood memories are somehow linked to Star Trek. So yeah, I can't remember. All-Star Gate. Somewhere they connected on the temple. Maybe it's also a common trope, you know. I'm fishing for a specific memory, and it's just like I've seen it in 3 different series or so. But would be quite funny to have a Furby with, yeah, basically a Neuralink implant to link to it, to its inner thoughts, maybe. Yeah, if I pull on that, I guess it goes to sleep, judging by the behavior it has shown. Was just in this I'm going to sleep cycle, and this is actually not bad. I mean, this is some functionality. Yeah, hell, I would even wish some people would have. Let's be honest. Just a little pull string and they go to sleep and they leave you alone. Where is the last battery? Down here. Now it wakes up again. You know, I'm repairing it and I'm instantly annoyed. That's also nice. But I think that's just... okay. I was just thinking, why isn't it waking up? I think that's just it with these things. What is it doing? I think I hit the actualization button. It must be French. I'm not sure. Maybe I should Google that. So, little buddy. somehow... Look at that, you can still see the screws here. Hey, buddy.
Oh, salut, Brunei.
Maybe it's too bright for it. Das fur. Why is it acting so extreme? Is it scared somehow? Hey! Uh-huh. But I think actually it's talking French. So I think it said salut. Salut! Yeah, you know, they have some local differences. So I know that because, yeah, mine back in the day, it was also talking a bit of German. Maybe I'm trying to pet it. Why is it so sad? Ah, there it said merci. Merci. Sorry, I'm mixing up the pronunciations. It said merci. So it is... It's really nervous, right? So... Yeah, so I know mine back in the day, it said some German words also. So yeah, these are localized. So yeah, that's it. It's... Oh God, can you just... I'm petting it, so this... So back in the day when you hold it like that, yeah, you could hug it. So I guess this is still... Ah, there also seems... Ah no, it's only the bracket. I thought there's still... I hope you can hear me over that. It's so loud. So I'm hugging it. No. I don't know. I think it reacted to my WhatsApp sound. Uh-huh. So you can feed it, yeah, by pressing its tongue. So, and if I hold this covered, maybe it sleeps. Oh, it looks sad. Yeah, I think it's reacting to darkness now. But yeah, there you have it. So I'm pulling that string, but it doesn't do anything. So I guess it just had some kind of boot loop. Oh God. So I'm taking out the batteries. This is really annoying. So I think I have to... Ah, my God. Yeah. Thank goodness. It's quiet. Okay. Yeah, this was an experience and it's working perfectly fine. So if you want to fix one of those, it's not really complicated. So I'm trying to look up the correct specifications of that motor again. And I'll put it in the description. Yeah, and so far so good. This was a Furby repair. Let's see, I guess what I want to do in the future is really to find out how do these function. Can I write my own program for it? Maybe an own personality, replace its, that there's some glue on the ear stuck, annoys me. Replace its mind, its processor, maybe with something like an ESP32S3 or something, and have it do whatever I want, bend it to my will, because in that state, let's be honest, it's totally annoying. It really goes on my nerves. I don't know how I was able to survive that as a kid and how my parents were coping. But yeah, it's, I mean, it's cute. I don't know. Maybe this was also one of those that were able to connect to your smartphone, but I'm not sure. Let's see what to do with that. Thank you for watching and see you next time around. Bye.